Welcome to another edition of the Dateline Downtown podcast. This is your host, Juan Hernandez. I'm here with my co-hosts today, Ted Shull and Joshua Burgman. We are presenting episode 3 of the Weekly News Roundup. Mr. Shull, take it away.
Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna get started this week with school. What happened today, Joshua?
Good morning, everyone. What happened today, or rather this week? Today. Big deal. Our first issue of Dateline Downtown finally made it from the printer. We've been online for how long? Like 3 days now? 2 days? The paper has been up online, and we've actually gotten the hard copies of the paper, so we'll be able to distribute today. So it will be here for you guys on Monday morning. Make sure you pick it up and read it. So that's like the big news that's coming out of Dateline right now. We're really excited about it because we haven't printed since last year.
Since October 22nd was our last official issue, and we're really happy and pleased to be able to bring you guys a solid newspaper in print form that we haven't been able to do. So it's great to be back.
Right, exactly, because it was very frustrating for us not being able to print. You know, as journalists or as a publication, our goal is to inform the people, and the people are our students, and to walk around and see empty bins since probably the end of November. It has been really humbling, actually. It makes me miss the news, which is continuing.
And people have commented on it, actually. Where's the paper?
Yeah.
And we had stories ready to go, but they were out of date, so we were not able to print, unfortunately. But now we're back in business, and our goal is to bring you 8 issues this semester to catch up.
That's the goal, and I think it's very we can accomplish that goal. In case everyone here, well, of course you wouldn't know, but we've got a lot of new staff here at Dateline who we plan to introduce you all to. So look for them in the paper, and read their articles, comment on their articles. You know, let them know that you're out there reading. This is how we attract our writers, and they're here to write for you. So let's acknowledge that.
And we always appreciate your comments.
Yeah, we do.
To the paper.
It makes us better. That's why we need them, because it's helpful for us to improve upon what we've already done. So
today we were expecting the student body president, John Locke, to deliver his annual State of the School address. Mm-hmm. And that has been postponed until next Friday at 12 p.m.
So if you can make it actually come out, I was at the General Assembly today, looking forward to John's speech, but unfortunately it was rescheduled. But I'm actually glad at that, because if you can make it, you guys ought to come out to this, because it's the state of the school. It's the state of your school. It's important that you're there to hear what's going on and hear how the school is running and how we're doing, because, hey, we're all here for improvements and to be educated, and knowing what's going on it's important. So show up. I was a little disappointed with the numbers of students I saw at the General Assembly today. And
we'll definitely be covering it for you, but that's not an excuse for not going.
It is not an excuse for not going. You should go whether we're covering it or not. But he did reschedule the State of the School for next Friday, so please try to be there, because it's very important that you're there to understand, like I said, what's going on in the school. Speaking of things that are going on in the school, or that were rather last night, UHD participated in the 2015 homeless count, which is an annual thing that is nationwide. The UHD effort was led by Neolis Palomo of SGA, and of course Dr. Bizette Flores, who works very closely with the homeless community here in Houston, and we were very excited to go out last night and participate and to cover that story in supporting homeless people here in Houston.
Very proud of my staff for showing up and covering such an important event.
Well, we were excited to do it, and it was I must say it was a very humbling experience. I plan on writing an article about it. I think it's going to be, when I actually sit out, it might be an actually very emotionally filled, because it was crazy going out there last night and actually talking to people. I met someone who has cancer. It made me think of my mother, who's a cancer survivor. This man just had no place to go, so it was.
So last week we had a question as to whether it was just youth or all population. It was.
Well, the point is to do the what the homeless count is. It is a count to basically get a synopsis of what the situation in Houston looks like as it pertains to the homeless. So in general, it was for everyone. We do this so that funds can be allocated to Houston or to Harris County or whoever, to Continuum of Cares. So that, like I said, so that those funds can be allocated to these people, and we have to have a good, adequate number to send to Congress so they can say, hey, we'll send you this amount of money.
Sure.
So technically it's for everyone, but we did want to get a big chunk of the youth, which was, I can say gladly, last night there was not a lot of youth on the street, because actually every person that I talked to was like in their 40s or 50s. We continue that this morning at the Beacon downtown, where they come a lot of times for breakfast, and it's also a homeless day shelter. So we continue that effort this morning, and it was just really nice to be a part of it. John Locke came out this morning. He was out last night with other members from SGA, Heather Strange. And like I said, it was just really nice to be a part of. I look forward to it next year. So if you guys get a chance, look for it next year. It happens at the end of January every year. It's one night, and they try to count everyone in Houston. And it's a huge effort. They had over 500 volunteers outside of UHD.
You mentioned Dr. Bizette Flores, who has recently entered her resignation. Correct?
Yes, I was very sad to hear about that yesterday.
Many people are. She's been very active with the homeless community ever since I've been a student here.
And she will continue to be. From after talking to her last night, she will continue to be active in the homeless community as well as UHD, because as the first lady of UHD, she has she has two initiatives that she's going to put forth, and I'm sure that it will probably be something related to homelessness. But we were very sad to hear that she's resigning, and her last day will be Monday, February 2nd. So, she's a stalwart here at UHD. I know students who love her. I love her. I got a chance to sit and talk with her, and she's just a really classy lady. So we will miss her. We will miss her constant presence on UHD, but like I said, she will be around. So that's nice for us.
Another event that happened this week that highlighted UHD's presence is the Rock and Roll Houston event
for
right. Enrolling in Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act.
Yes, what we like to call is the Affordable Care Act. Okay, so I met Marty McVeigh, who was running for mayor of 2016, and the reason why I bring that up is because we talked about how he doesn't like calling it the Obamacare. And I agree with him, because
as do I.
This is a plan that Obama had, but it's the plan that he has for the people. So it's it's the Affordable Care Act belongs to the people. So putting his name on it as a stamp, it's like giving him ownership of it. Yes. Even though he created it, it belongs to the people. So, I had to say that because I felt like that was a good point that Mr. McVeigh made.
And Congress signed it into law.
Yeah.
And the Supreme Court upheld it.
So right, but they upheld it as the Affordable Care Act. So I'm having to train myself to make sure that I say Affordable Care Act. I think that's important.
But we're very happy to see that John Locke was invited to MC that event.
Yes, he was there.
That's very, very good for our school.
Right, it was, and he shared his story, his own personal story of going through the process of enrolling in Obamacare and actually receiving Obamacare. See, I'm doing it again. I'm sorry, enrolling in the Affordable Health Care Act and actually receiving affordable health care at 3 cents a month. Like, that's insane. So, but that was very exciting to see him, there, and to see the participation that UHD has within the community. So.
Transitioning to more local Houston news, it was announced that oil companies focused in Houston, based in Houston, suffered $20 billion in profit loss, which is leading to high numbers of layoffs.
Right. As bad as that sounds, $20 billion is a lot of money. But, I mean, how much do these companies make a week? Like, hundreds of millions of dollars? So, I mean, that's a big chunk. And then, of course, the job layoffs is also terrible. I think Schlumberger got rid of 9,000 jobs. And then we just say Baker and Hughes is getting rid of 2,000 jobs. So that is something that we should continue to look at here in Houston, especially with the energy-driven sector that we have here in Houston as far as jobs. So.
Definitely. Bringing it to a more personal level, I have a good friend who I interned with at Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee's office, who graduated from U of H, Maine, last semester with a dual degree in political science and economics, and started working immediately for Baker Hughes. And,
oh, wow.
Was just laid off this week.
Oh,
as
wow.
an analyst.
So he was in that 2000,
yes,
huh?
Yes.
Wow, that's
so,
crazy.
He got a good job right out of college, and then now it's gone.
So I guess that just shows, it will affect a lot of people in this area, especially if if oil prices continue to drop, which, I don't really expect them to continue the downward trajectory that they've had. They'll level off. They will. I believe that. Right now you got Saudi Arabia playing with the stock market, so
yes.
We'll see what happens, though. We'll see who gives in first.
We also have the rodeo coming up.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got the rodeo, and then they have introduced the lineup, right? The lineup of performances. Juan, you have that?
Yeah, and I actually forgot to mention this to you guys last week when I wasn't here for episode 2. And yeah, they just announced the lineup. Maybe, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? It's been out already.
Yeah.
We have Eric Church, March the 3rd. Hunter Hayes, March 4th. Miranda Lambert, March 5th. John Legend, March 6th. Alan Jackson, March 7th. Fall Out Boy, March 8th. Justin Moore, March 9th. Tim McGraw, March 10th. Brantley Gilbert, March 11th. Zach Brown Band, March 12th. Pitbull, March 13th.
Pitbull.
Yeah, look forward to that one. Billy Currington, March 14th. This one's in Spanish for all you Spanish-speaking people out there, or not. La Arrolladora Banda Limón. That one's on Go Tejano Day.
I just like the way can you say that again? Like, what is it?
La Arrolladora Banda El Limón.
Don't you love the way he says that?
And a lot of people came out on social media, on Facebook and Twitter, in an uproar about who was gonna play on Go Tejano Day, because apparently it's the bands that have been playing before are taken away from the fact that it's like a Tejano Day.
Yeah.
So they don't have like Tejano bands playing. They have, Mexican bands playing and stuff like that, bandas and stuff like that. So it's I could care less, because it's not my.
It's not your zhuzh.
Yeah, it's just for people to go and have fun there. If you like the band, go check it out.
Yeah.
March 15th, that's the same day, with the other band. La Maquinaria Norteña. Oh. So it should be a fun-filled Go Tejano Day for anybody that wants to go.
Yeah, that's nice.
The Erks Bentley, March 16. Ariana Grande, March 17. Ooh. Florida. What was that?
I'm saying, is this what the rodeo has come to? Ariana Grande. Is it just me who's like, oh my God, seriously, Ariana Grande? I know she's like a big deal now.
Yeah.
But for real, she does not. I don't look at her and say country.
I think they're trying to shake things up a bit each year at the rodeo. I mean, I went to go see Kiss about 4 years ago, and that was something that I wasn't quite expecting for the rodeo.
How did you like it, though?
It was pretty good. I mean, they played a short set list, but it was overall it was very well attended.
Yeah.
Yeah. See if I'm actually March 18, we have Florida George Line. March 19, Blake Shelton. The Ben Perry on March 20th. Brad Paisley March 21st. And the last day, March 22nd, we have Luke Bryan. I think he closes out the show every year, doesn't he?
Yeah, because he's there very often. I actually love his shows, though. I've been to one of them. A good friend of mine took me, and I loved it. She was trying to introduce me into country because I'm one of those people who love music 100%, but then I'll say, oh, I love all types of music but country. So I'm one of those.
Me too.
But she changed my mind, though. She took me to a Luke Bryan concert, and I don't know if I just fell in love with Luke Bryan or country music, but I felt a little tingle when I was at the concert. So it's cool that he's closing it out again. So I'm sure those tickets are probably already even sold out.
Yeah, it should be a very fun-filled rodeo this year. And before we move on to another topic, there's a lot of concerts being announced for all over the Houston area lately. You know, it's that time of year when they start announcing shows for not only for the summer, for the fall of this year.
Yeah.
You have people like Billy Joel coming.
That should be a good one.
I drove by Minute Maid recently and saw that I think it was yesterday, they just put up the poster for Taylor Swift. I forget when she's coming to Minute Maid. Sometime in April or something like that. But you have a lot of good concerts coming up. I'm actually gonna go see Motley Crue and Alice Cooper again. They came last year. They're supposed to final tour in quotations, but they're making the rounds again, and just a lot to keep up with. Toyota Center, the Woodlands. I know you have Jimmy Buffett coming to the Woodlands sometime,
cool.
but it's whatever you're into, just be on the lookout for that.
Has Taylor Swift ever performed at the rodeo?
At the rodeo?
No. I'm surprised.
I want to say yes, but I'm not.
Not 100%.
I'm not sure. Maybe the people out there know. Maybe she has. Maybe she's not. She hasn't. But
she's pretty popular though. You know, she does like pop country. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if she did. She probably has though. I don't know though. I'd be curious about that.
Taylor Swift rodeo next year.
Yeah, headlining.
All of this just highlights Houston as a premier destination for music and culture. You know, coming from a city, New Orleans, which, you know, has music everywhere and created styles of music. It's great to see Houston getting these big name concerts.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Shull is a NOLA native, correct?
Yes, I am a transplant.
Well, hey, Houston's lucky to have you.
Thank you.
What else do we have to cover, guys?
Well, a big story today. Mitt Romney announced about 2 hours ago that he is dropping out of the 2016 presidential contest.
You know what's crazy about that? Why is that a big story? Like, I understand that he ran for president last time, but
He actually ran the last 2 times.
yeah. So, dude, take a seat. Like, bow out.
Yeah.
I think you've been told in a resounding show of force here that no one really wants you to be president. I mean, you know, it's cool, to see you make your speeches and stuff. 47%. Hey, but I mean, man, come on. I don't understand why that's news.
Well, there was some speculation. Well, he announced his intention to run about 3 weeks ago, and there has been some speculation that his wife, Ann Romney, talked him out of this.
Oh, really?
And in his speech this morning, he said that he wanted the Republican Party. He thought a fresh face would be good for the Republican Party.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeb Bush is a fresh face. Okay. Oh, okay.
Fresher than Romney, I guess.
I guess so. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he's kind of been around for a minute. So that's okay. I
But
didn't know he was a fresh face.
I didn't either.
Okay.
Many political junkies and political watchers are now speculating that there are already 2 presumptive nominees for 2016.
Bush Clinton 2016. You know, I pray that it doesn't turn out that way. We are a while away from 2016, and the primaries sometimes can shock you
They can.
with what happens.
I mean, President Obama came out of nowhere in 2008.
Right. Yeah. And
Everyone thought Hillary would be the nominee.
Right. Well, they had him at, what was it, the 2004 Democratic Convention.
Well, the 2004 convention is what made him president.
Yeah, that put him on the world stage.
Gave him a national platform, of course.
I'll say it gave him a national platform. It had a hand in making him president. Yes. I don't know if that was the major.
No, but he does owe Kerry for that one.
Yeah, he does. Or his wife. Yes. I don't know if you heard the story about them going to I thought that was so funny and clever. So for anyone who doesn't know, I'll tell it really quickly. So they go out to dinner to some New York restaurant, right? And the owner of the restaurant comes and says, hey, I want to speak to the first lady. Apparently he knew her, and the security actually allowed it. She went and spoke with him in private. And when she comes back to the table, the president's like, so, yeah, what's the deal? Like, why did this guy want to speak to you? And she goes, oh, he used to be, like, madly in love with me when he was in high school or college or something like that. And the president, of course, coolly remarks, oh, that's nice. So had you married him, you'd be the proud owner of this lovely restaurant here. And she responds, no, had I married him, he'd be president of the United States. I love that story. I thought that was so funny because it shows, though, what she does for him. I really appreciate her as first lady. So
I can attest to behind every successful man
is a successful woman. That's I agree
or a successful partner, let's say.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I can say that for my mother, so I agree with that 100. So.
I just want to point out we didn't know about this last week, but apparently the number of threats to airlines to U.S. airlines has gone up to over 10 per day since January 17th. And they actually scrambled fighter jets in some of these instances and forced the planes to land, which disrupts travel. This was a flight from San Diego to Dallas that was diverted and surrounded by fighter jets and forced to land because of a bomb threat. Yeah.
And is that a bomb threat that someone just called in?
Social media. Social media. Most of these were done through social media.
Here's the thing with that. We'd like to, especially everyone in the United States would like to believe we live in a perfect world where these things don't happen to us anymore, especially since the 9/11. The government is watching everyone more. We're supposed to be more secure and more safe. But the reality is, we have to be vigilant 100% of the time.
Yeah.
And terrorists or people who commit mass murder only have to be successful once. To believe that is preventive, to believe that can be prevented, I think it's a little naive. So the threats, the threats that they're going up, okay, it's gonna happen. So it's like what can you do about it? But it's also hard to say that because then what happens when a threat goes unchecked and you have another plane flying into a building?
And the concern is why now?
Yeah.
Why right now? What is driving this? Is it leading up to the Super Bowl? There's some speculation that something may happen at the Super Bowl.
Right.
The Border Patrol. The Super Bowl is designated as a national security event,
right,
which means they are allowed to employ resources from all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
The top experts in the field.
Right. Well, I think we should probably look at this as in more of a global aspect, because if you look around the world right now, you have terror organizations that are, I need to find a better word because I hate using the word terror. I just feel like it's, I don't know. I'm sorry. But anyways, you have these organizations that have increased their violence. You have Paris, you have Boko Haram in Africa killing all of, this world, basically wiping out these two villages, kidnapping the girls, and then just a lot of stuff that's going on in the world in general.
Sure.
In Yemen, but that's a Yemen deal. But these things, these things are probably connected.
Yes.
These organizations are all connected. They all have the same goal and the same aim. So, as far as why now, it's probably important to take a step back and look at it globally.
Exactly. That informed policy analysis, that's called the third level of analysis, the big picture.
Right.
And it is speculated that ISIS has something to do with these threats. With some of them. Now, many of them are presumed to be copycats,
of course,
stuff like that.
Of course.
Some of them are presumed real.
I wouldn't be surprised by that, though.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, ISIS is, especially lately, they took the Japanese hostages, and so they have really. Oh, and then also Jordan, right?
They have They had 2 Japanese hostages. They executed one of them. They have one more, a journalist who was reporting in Syria, and then ISIS announced that it has a Jordanian fighter pilot who ejected over Syria. So Jordan is contemplating a prisoner exchange. Now, Japan has gotten really excited because they think they're going to get both prisoners. But Jordan, the Minister of Information for Jordan, said yesterday, "Oh, yes, and we will also work diligently to get the Japanese prisoner back."
But it's like, why do they think that Jordan will work hard to get their hostage back? I don't understand.
They
that.
won't.
Yeah.
The only reason that Jordan is even considering this is because this family, the mother and father of this fighter pilot, are high up in the tribal hierarchy in Jordan.
Okay.
Which is very influential in the national political system, in the monarchy.
You know what, that makes sense.
Yes.
Earlier we were talking about it, that sets a new precedent.
Yeah.
I really don't think it does, because even if that was here in the U.S., let's just say it was some senator's son.
Sure.
The U.S. would probably, especially if it was a very important senator, the U.S. would probably seriously look into working with ISIS to try to get that person back. Just goes to show you we're all equal here. Some are just more equal than others.
Yes.
So I guess it's the same thing in Jordan. So
it is.
Before we close out, you guys mentioned the Super Bowl.
Of course. How could we forget that?
Exactly. Not only is it a big Super Bowl weekend, but they're also having the UFC 183.
Oh, really?
The day before the Super Bowl, which is Saturday night. So
is that the fight with Silva?
Yes, yeah? Anderson Silva
and
is it Nick or Nate Diaz? I should know this, but yeah, it's Anderson Silva's big return to the octagon after his freak injury where he broke his leg against what's the guy's name? Chris Weidman in his rematch. So it should be interesting to see how well he gets back into the octagon. But yeah. Super Bowl, I mean, you have the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks.
Patriots are going to win.
I'm right with you.
I don't know. I don't know any other way to say it. Patriots are going to win. So, hey. Seahawks. Wait, aren't the Seahawks defending champions, though? Are they? Who won last year?
Was it the Broncos against the Seahawks last year?
Yeah, and the Seahawks won, right? Like, aren't they defending champs?
I think they are. I should know. I mean, this was just last year.
I doubt they'll win this year. They're playing the Patriots.
I mean, they barely won in that last game that they had against the Packers.
Yeah,
that was the game that went into overtime. And then you saw I don't know if you saw the game with the Patriots against the Colts. I mean, the Patriots just destroyed.
Yeah.
The Colts. It was a complete blowout. I think it was 45-7.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but I'm a Bill Belichick fan. So
Seahawks did win last year.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, the Seahawks did win, so they are the defending champions. But Patriots have been in it for, I don't know how many times, 6 times maybe?
They will not be defending champions in 2016. Now, come next week, if I have to eat my words, I will do so. Yeah. But I really do not think that they will win on Sunday. So.
And they're coming off the big controversy where they're deflating the football.
Oh, Deflategate.
And... to me, it's the media. I don't know. They're just blowing this whole thing out of proportion because I'm sure you guys know, and a lot of former football players have come out saying, hey, every game that we play, we try to do as much as we can to win, meaning that they cheat.
Right.
So it's no secret that teams cheat to win.
Yeah, but I don't think was this really that type of situation with the balls, because then they catch somebody like
I
they caught the person who did it, right?
Yeah.
And he like how much was he affiliated with the Patriots organization? Like was he? Did the Patriots main office get him to do this, or did he have a bet with someone that he wanted to win?
A straw man.
Yeah, I felt he probably had some bet with someone that he had to win, but I mean, who knows? I'm not going to speculate, but I seriously doubt the Patriots would try to do something like that to win. But I mean,
yeah,
like you said, you never know.
Yeah, so. Even if people have been wanting to see Tom Brady lose all the time and get sacked and this and that. I think that one of the games that they had early in the season, I think for them was a complete shutout. They lost, I forget how much to how much, and right away people were saying, "Oh, the Belichick era is over, the Brady era is over," and then they come back like next
and now
game.
they're at the Super Bowl.
And they're at the Super Bowl now, so it's the whole thing. But I am rooting for the Patriots to win. Badly enough, the Texans didn't make it again this year.
Oh, wow, shocker.
Or the Saints.
Speaking of sports, though, I don't know if anyone who's listening is a tennis enthusiast like I am, but the finals of the Australian Open are this weekend. Tomorrow, it is Maria Sharapova versus Serena Williams. So that's number 2 in the world versus number 1 in the world. But Serena has wiped this girl out in like the last, I think, like 18 or so meetings that they've had. And the men is Novak Djokovic versus Andy Murray. Djokovic knocked out Rodivenka last night, who was the defending champ. So take a look. I know I will be watching. I wish I was in Australia.
So it's a big sports weekend overall. I think after this,
that's true, because also golf in Phoenix.
Yeah, they have. What is that? Is that a championship? Or
I don't know what it is, but it's a big deal, because I saw last night Tiger Woods had a bad day yesterday, and he was whining about it. Almost broke his club. So.
Speaking of Phoenix, real quick, I just want to give a shout out to Ben DeSoto, who is at Sundance Film Festival for his documentary work. He's a proud photographer for Dateline Downtown. We appreciate your work, Ben, and we hope you come back safe. Good luck.
Man, congratulations.
Along with Ben DeSoto, I was telling Ted and Joshua before that Adam Scorgi, the documentary filmmaker we had on the podcast previously, is also at Sundance. I believe he's also there for his documentary. I'm sure he is, but I saw the pictures on Instagram the other day, and just really, really glad that these people are, getting accepted into places like Sundance, and to have one of our own fellow photographers, Ben DeSoto, it's just amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So, and that's all we have as far as the Weekly News Roundup goes for this week. I'm sure next week there's going to be a lot of sports talk and a lot of news talk. Every day it's just something different comes out.
Yeah. And guys, if you're listening, please don't forget to like and share. And also, we'd really like your comments, what you like us to add, take away, what you didn't like. Just talk to us so we can talk to you.
Right, and a lot of things will be popping up in the next week or so. We are planning to do our first listener, I guess we would call it listener-friendly show, where people email their questions and stuff like that. So,
that's cool.
And we have a lot of upcoming episodes that are in the can already, ready to go. So be on the lookout, guys, for all of those. DatelineDowntown.com/podcast. The e-newspaper's up there as well, so all the resources are there, guys. Don't forget to check it out.
That's right. Stay tuned. Stay informed.
And please pick up a copy of the newspaper. Go Gators.
If you're on campus. And if you're not on campus, check it out online.